Live for God Studio Productions.
This is Cooking with Brian, a cooking show with food that actually tastes great.
Well, hello friends. Welcome to Cooking with Brian. Today's lesson, we're going to make chicken noodle soup, homemade style. We're not going to make our own homemade noodles. We're going to use store-bought noodles, but as far as store-bought noodles, you do want to use premium store-bought noodles. The better quality of noodles you get, the better your soup will taste. You can make your own homemade noodles if you want. There's plenty of recipes online that explains how to do it, but I can tell you it ain't no fun. It's so much easier just to pour them into a pan. Alright friends, this is how you make simple chicken noodle soup that anybody can make. It's a fairly simple recipe. Here's how you make it. Okay friends, we're going to go over the ingredients you need for making homemade chicken noodle soup. As you need at least one container here, a 1 pound container of premium wide egg noodles. This is our favorite. It's called Alberto's wide egg noodles. They sell this in the Kansas City area at the Hy-Vee grocery stores. It's the best that they sell there because we've tried probably all of them. Now one thing I'll say is you don't want to use cheap egg noodles. You don't want to buy the ones that are only $1 or $1.50 for a pound. Those ones are not good. They don't taste like these ones. You want to get premium egg noodles. I have seen that some Amish people do have some noodles. Those are pretty good, but they still can't touch these. Other things you need some chicken broth. You can get 2 large cans of chicken broth, or you can get 2 of these large paper container boxes, or whatever you want to call it. These are 48 ounce boxes, 3 pounds each. You want to put at least 2 large containers of chicken broth in your soup. Now the only other ingredients you need salt. You want to put some salt in there, some black pepper, and you also will need onion powder and garlic powder. Now friends, you can also throw vegetables in your soup if you want to. You can throw some cans of mixed vegetables. You could put some potatoes in there, peas, any kind of vegetables is good in there, but we're going to make it today with no vegetables, so it's just going to be traditional chicken noodle soup. Okay friends, you can also, if you go with filling the pan closer to the top, you can also use 2 of these 1 pound things. If you have a lot of mouths to feed, you get visitors over, something else, you can put 2 pounds of this in your soup if you like a lot more noodles, and it'll be wonderful. Okay friends, here's how you make it. Okay, we're going to take our chicken broth and put it in our pan here. Sometimes they can make a huge mess, so you got to be very careful. Okay, you want to go ahead and add some hot water to your pan and bring it up to the level that you feel comfortable is enough liquid to cook the noodles and for as much soup as you want. You want to fill it a little bit higher if you're using 2 pounds of the noodles. Okay, and you'll see, friends, that's about what we came up with in our pan. Okay, you want to make sure that you go ahead and put it on the burner you want it on, and go ahead and just for now we're going to put it on about the 6 o'clock position to let it start getting warm. You can go ahead and throw some salt in there. I don't know, I put at least 10 or 15 dashes of salt in there. I like a little bit of salt in mine. Okay folks, then you want to get you a pan, and this is one of my favorite pans that I'll brag on, is the red copper pans. I've had this thing for probably, I don't know, 8 months or so, and I love it. It's better than a non-stick skillet. And you see them at CVS and Walmart and all over the place. Get you one if you ain't got one, you'd love it. Put you some canola oil there. I use canola oil because well, first of all, you got vegetable oil, which is bad for you, really bad for you. Gives you high cholesterol. Canola oil is more healthy. It's neither good nor bad for you. So use canola oil for your cooking, not vegetable oil. It's much healthier. Put you a little bit of that canola oil on the bottom of your pan. Okay, friends, then you want to take some chicken, and I just got one plump large chicken breast. That's enough to make soup with, friends. Unless you get a lot of mouths to feed. If you have a lot of mouths to feed, if you get a lot of mouths to feed, you can use more chicken if you like. But I used one very large chicken breast. Now I want to take and cut off this fat stuff. I don't even know why they want to give me fat, because I didn't tell them I wanted fat. I just wanted chicken. You want to cut these down into small pieces and toss them all in your skillet.
It's on its way. I already have my car in the garage because there's supposed to be a really huge hail coming. So it's not even running right now. I hate to break it to you, I'm not driving in a bad storm. So, you have to, yeah, I don't, of course, I don't know. It might be tomorrow. I think.
Then just keep cutting this stuff up, friends, until you get it all into small pieces and put it in your skillet in the oil. Okay, friends, you want to take all the nasty stuff out, the fat and stuff. Just get rid of this crap, because I don't even know why they put it in there. They want us to pay for this crap. I want good meat, Hy-Vee. Give us all good meat, Hy-Vee. That's all I can say. We don't want no fat on our chicken. And this is the premium stuff from the deli. And it's still got fat all over it. Oh, by the way, friends, if you cut yourself, cut your wife, your kids, your dog, any of your animals or any of that stuff with a knife, it's your fault. You take full responsibility if you cut yourself or others or animals or anybody. It's all your fault. You take full responsibility, because in my recipe I didn't show you how to cut yourself with a knife. You only did it because you wanted to. So if you do it, it's your fault. If you want to cut your fingers off while you're cutting the chicken, it's your fault. you want it to. If you stab a relative, you're going to jail, because it's against the law to stab your relatives, even though at times they get on your nerves. So, and if you need help with loving your wife, you know, the Lord can change your heart. You know, marriage is a three-way covenant between you, the Lord, and your spouse. And if something's wrong or missing, talk to the Lord. He can fix those things. Okay, friends, you can, now that you got all your chicken in the skillet, go ahead and put the correct burner on. And you want to put it on about the 5 o'clock position, at least to start with. Now, if you burn yourself, burn others, or any of that stuff, you take full responsibility. It's your fault, folks, not mine. I didn't make you burn yourself, you did. Okay, friends, we're going to go ahead and throw our spices in. Put about 10 or 15 dashes of onion powder. Garlic powder. About 5-6 dashes of garlic powder. Okay, and then, friends, you want to take 1 full teaspoon of black pepper. And here's my little secret. Start stirring. Do not dump the black pepper in one big clump, or it'll just stay as a clump in your soup. Start stirring the stuff and lightly sprinkle a little bit in at a time. Don't put too much in at one time or it just balls up. Make sure you're stirring it good. And that's the top secret ingredient that makes chicken noodle soup taste so good. Okay, friends, you want to take your chicken after it starts.
Yes, he's gonna get it.
After it starts cooking a little bit, go ahead and start flipping it over and stirring it.
Stay safe. Oh, game over. Game over. Yes. Not too late. Wow.
It does not take very long. Does not take very long to cook your chicken pieces in the skillet.
Thank you.
But you want it to turn white and be white all the way through. That's your goal, and it does not take very long to do it. Okay, friends, one way you can tell if your chicken is done or not is take some of the bigger pieces after it's cooked for, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Cut some of your bigger pieces in half and you'll be able to see in the middle to see if they're done. So everything here looks like it's done, pretty much. And then maybe I'll cook it another minute or two after I think it's done, just to be safe. Don't hurt to be a little bit safe. Just give your soup a good stir. And then take your chicken. You don't want to put all that canola oil in there, so use you a spatula that's got holes in the bottom. And carefully put it in there. If you just throw it in there, it's going to make a big disaster. So you got to put it in there extremely carefully without burning yourself, folks. Do not burn yourself or it's your fault. Of course, when you know, I'd make a big mess here. Pretty good at making messes. Pretty good at cleaning them too. Okay friends, you want to go ahead and put your 1 pound of noodles, or 2 pounds if you decided you wanted to put 2 pounds, and any vegetables that you want to add. You don't have to put vegetables unless you want to. This is when you would do it. For the first couple minutes, you want to go ahead and stir this up really good for about 2 minutes or so. Okay friends, at this point, once you've stirred the noodles for a couple minutes, it's going to take anywhere from maybe about 20 to 35 minutes, depending on where you have your heat set at. Ours is in the 6 o'clock position. And we're going to go ahead and just let it sit here and cook for at least 20 minutes before we start tasting it to see if it's done or not. It'll probably be closer to 30 minutes on average. Now you can work on some side dishes. Okay friends, and now just let that cook for about 20 to 35 minutes or so. After about 20 minutes, go ahead and look at it to see if it looks like it might be done, and take a little sample out on a plate. Don't burn yourself, or it's your fault. You agree that it's your fault by using my recipes. Taste it to see if it's to your likings or not. It's supposed to be tender, not mushy, not nasty, and not hard. It's at the very end of the hardness to where you'll find tender. It's before it gets mushy, but it's at the end of the hard stage. That is the perfect spot for tender noodles. That's what you want, friends. So, hopefully you enjoy your soup. Hope this recipe's a blessing to you. We'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.